Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my car. We are in my car right now and not my kitchen because I thought it would be really fun to do a Christmas holiday tea review for this day of Bakemas, since it's either National or International Tea Day. I forget which, but it's tea day and I love me some tea. So my plan for this video is I'm gonna go to some local stores, I'm gonna see what holiday teas they have, pick some up, and then we're gonna go back to my kitchen, try them, review them, and I'll give you all my thoughts on them. So let's get started. Got some great options from there. I have one more stop that I'm gonna make at Target because there's a specific tea that I want to try from there. But I wanted to show y'all. They had mugs on sale and I have no self-control because obviously, I mean, come on. How was I not gonna pick this up? Baking Spirits Bright, I freaking love it. So this is what we're gonna be trying all of our tea in. But yeah, I'm gonna go to Target and then I will be back in my apartment to try some tea. It is now dark outside, but we got the goods. They had the tea blend that I was hoping they would have. I'm very, very excited. Yeah, let's go freaking try some tea. It took me a couple days, but we're here and we're ready to try the tea. Hi, Maddie. Here's my cat. Maddie, come here. Say hi to my cat, everyone. I don't think he's happy to be here, but I like him a lot. Additionally, I decided I'm going to do a bit of a giveaway with this video. So I'm going to be going through trying the teas, giving my thoughts on them, and then at the end, if you see a type of tea that you would like to try, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I will take the first 3 comments I see and I will send you a little tea bag for you to try out those flavors and see if that's something you might want to purchase as well. So if you want to try out some tea along with me, make sure to comment below which tea you want to try and I'll go ahead and send that over to you. Okay, I think that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get to the teas. Okay, so first we're going to be going through this holiday gift set. I actually don't know what brand this is. I got it at World Market. It might be World Market brand tea, but it just says the holiday edition. So it's 3 loose leaf teas, and it actually comes with this cute little silicone strainer in it. So I like that a lot. Here are the 3 teas that come with it. So we've got Christmas Rubius tea. I'll give it a little bit of a smell for y'all. So for the loose leaf teas I have, and even for the tea bags, I'll try and give a little reaction to how it smells. Oh, also, if you end up wanting to try one of these, what I'll do is I'll probably pour a little bit out for myself and then I'll just ship you the rest of this bag. But Christmas Rubius, I think, is the first one we're gonna try. Okay, that smells really good. Let me see, what are the notes supposed to do with this? So the ingredients for the Christmas Rubius tea are Rubius, obviously, orange flavor, what kind of flavor? And safflower. So, I'll be trying this one first. Okay, so the flavor. It has a light citrusy flavor. I was expecting it to be a little bit stronger, but I'm kind of pleased that it's a nice light orangey flavor. The whole tea itself is very kind of bright tasting, if that makes sense. And the Rubius almost to me tastes a little bit floral in this tea. So I enjoy it. I think it's like, it's not your traditional Christmas flavor, I think, but it's a nice kind of lighter alternative, I think. I know a lot of Christmas teas tend to have a lot of strong spices or peppermint or that kind of thing. This one seems like a much softer tea. So for the flavor, just off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a, I'll give it a 3. I like it a lot. Again, like, I'm not the biggest orange tea person. Like, I enjoy orange flavors in a tea, but citrus isn't like, yes, my go-to tea. So for me, I'm gonna rate it a 3 on the flavor scale. Okay, for the festiveness, this is kind of tricky. So I like that it's not your typical flavor. Like, it's got a little bit of a unique flavor about it. And I think the citrus does kind of work well with winter. Like, it's a nice flavor for sure, but it doesn't really scream Christmas for me, which, again, it's nice that it's a good variation from the norm of what you find with a lot of Christmas flavors, but still for me, I don't think I'd find myself reaching for it specifically during Christmas time. I could see myself enjoying it throughout the year, and the citrusy flavors actually I think would lend well to summer as well. So for festiveness, gosh, I don't wanna be harsh, but I'm gonna be harsh because I have a lot of tea. Okay, know that I don't think this is a bad tea. I think it's a good tea, but for festiveness, I'm gonna give it a 2. It just doesn't scream like Christmas to me, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in these teas. And then overall experience, yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 3. It's awesome. It's a good tea. If you're really into the orange flavor, I think you'll like that. If you're really into like a citrusy tea, I think you'll like it. And it's a nice, enjoyable tea. However, I don't know if I'm going to find myself reaching for that a bunch during the Christmas time, or just in general. I don't know if I'll find myself reaching for it a bunch, but it's a nice, cozy tea. I could see it being good in iced tea. I could see it being good in hot tea like this. It's a solid tea. It's a pretty solid tea. If you like a citrusy flavor, I think this is a good one. For me, it doesn't wow me, but I enjoy it well enough. So for our next tea in that little gift set, we're going to do this zesty chai. So it's got ruby juice as well, lemongrass, oh that's interesting, cocoa husks, ginger, cinnamon, flavor, and cloves. I'm wondering what this flavor is they keep putting in it. I'm guessing it's a little bit of like, I don't know actually, I have no idea. But the lemongrass is really interesting to me. I've never thought of that being in a chai, so I imagine that'll bring kind of like a little bit of a bright flavor to it. And then it's got cocoa husks in it as well, which is also really interesting. So I'm really curious to see what this will taste like. So let me go boil a cup of water. Sorry, I'm doing little sips because it's so hot. Okay, let's talk about the flavor. So I actually really like this chai. I think that it's different than your typical chai, because a lot of chais, like I think I said this, they go really, really heavy on the cinnamon, and they don't go as, like they don't really develop some of the other spices that you can put in chai, and this one does. So it's not as cinnamon heavy, but it has a lot of ginger, it has a lot of nutmeg, I think there's probably some cloves in here, like it's got a lot of different spice flavors in it, as well as like a really nice earthy flavor. And then the lemongrass in it, I can smell it, but it doesn't seem like it's making it not a good chai flavor, if that makes sense. Like it's not turning it into something different. I think it just kind of like adds a little more zest to it. So for flavors, I'm gonna give this a 4. It's a really good chai. It doesn't blow me away, but it's a really, really good chai. I think this would make a great chai tea latte, iced or not. Yeah, this is a really good chai flavor. It's a little bit more of like a deep chai flavor than your typical chai, so I'm a big fan of it. So this gets a 4 for me. As far as the festiveness, I feel like chai is a good winter flavor. It doesn't say specifically like holidays to me, but I think this one really does a good job of being like a good winter flavor, and I think some of the ways they've done some variations with it, like adding a little bit of lemongrass and making it a little bit brighter, I think it adds a little something extra to the chai. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 4 on the festiveness scale, because it's good and it feels very wintry, but it's still, like, it doesn't specifically say Christmas to me, even with some of the variations they've done to it. So I'm gonna give it a 4 on that. And then for the overall experience, I'm probably gonna give a lot of 4s for this one. I think I'm gonna do a 4 as well because I really like a good chai, and this seems like a good solid one to go with, and not just like, not only is it a good solid chai, but I think it's kind of unusual and kind of unique, and so I really enjoy drinking it. I enjoy drinking it with no sweetener and no creamer or anything like that, which is kind of nice because sometimes in a chai, like, I feel like I need sweetener or creamer with it for it to kind of become the full flavor that it's supposed to be, but this one is nice. I'm enjoying drinking it without anything in it at all, so I'm gonna give it a 4 for a grand total of 12 out of 15. This is a really good tea and I enjoy it a lot. On to our next tea. So our last tea in that first tea set is going to be a raspberry, peppermint, and candy cane flavored tea. So this one has sugar candy, peppermint, ginger, raspberries, rose petals, and hibiscus. So I think the tea base for this one is the actual hibiscus tea. This will be interesting. I'm typically not really a fan of hibiscus tea. I really want to be, but I just haven't found a hibiscus tea that I just absolutely adore. So I'm thinking maybe the mint in this will be strong enough to where the hibiscus flavor doesn't bother me as much. So let's go boil some water. Okay, so here's my thought. To me, this doesn't taste like a candy cane or like peppermint candy like I was expecting. To me, it tastes like kind of more of like a green peppermint flavor, like if you were to actually take like dried mint, and or like if you were to put mint in something, like the actual mint leaves, the herb, in something, it tastes kind of like that. Like it's got a little bit of a green minty taste to it. It's kind of a bummer. Okay, don't get me wrong, I like the flavor, but I feel like it doesn't meet what it was going for. You know, like it's supposed to be this, oh, raspberry candy cane type of tea, and to me it tastes like kind of a herbal mint tea. Yeah, which is not bad, but I don't think that's what, I feel like that's not what it was going for as a tea, so I'm a little bit bummed, honestly. Let's see. Okay, so disclaimer, again, this is a good tea. I just think it tastes good. Like it's a good herbally mint tea, but I think for what it was trying to do, it doesn't really do that. So for me, the flavor, I'm gonna give it a 2. Again, it's like, it's a good flavor, but I was really hoping for like the raspberry and the peppermint and like kind of that peppermint candy, like candy cane type of flavor, because it smelled so much like it, and that's not what I'm getting at all. So I'm gonna give it a 2 on the flavor, and I'll probably give it a 2 for the festiveness as well, just because like I had such high hopes for it and it smelled so good. But let me give it another taste to make sure. Yeah, but it doesn't really capture, like, it feels to me like it's not serving the purpose that it was supposed to, as like this holiday tea that's peppermint and raspberry and supposed to be super, super Christmassy. I feel like it didn't do that. So I'm gonna give it a 2. But overall experience, I'm actually gonna give it a, what am I gonna give it? Let me think. Take another sip. Overall experience, I'm gonna give it a 3. It's a really good tea, honestly. Like, I'm still a little bit disappointed that it didn't taste the way I expected it to, but it's a really good tea. It's a really good herbal minty tea. So I think it's, I don't know, if you're someone who likes that kind of mint flavor, I would recommend this for you. I just think it's not what I was expecting or wanting in the tea. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our second gift box of tea. So this is from the English Tea Shop. I think this little gift box is so cute. It comes with 12 loose leaf pyramid bags with 4 different kinds of tea. So let me get the first one out. So the first tea we're gonna try is called Ghostly Green. Comes in this cute little package. And it says it's a green tea with cinnamon, ginger, peppermint, and rose petals. Oh, I love rose petals. Let's give this one a try. Huh. Apart from lightly burning my tongue. Okay. Man, I'm a little disappointed. So this one, I feel like it just has too much going on. And there's not really one flavor that's super strong, which is fine. Like, it doesn't have to be a strong tea, but I think, you know, between peppermint and cinnamon and spices and rose petals, like, there's not one flavor that really seems to add a lot, and I think that makes it kind of not a strong flavor overall. Like, I mainly taste the green tea, and the green tea tastes pretty green, kind of leafy almost. So, herbal, that's the word. So, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, it's not a bad tea, it's just I don't really get any of those flavors. Bummer. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and, thinking about the last one, I'm gonna give it a 2 for taste, and wow, I feel like I'm being really harsh. These are good teas, but I'm gonna give this a 2 for taste and a 1 for festivity. Taste, again, it's something where, like, it's a good flavored tea, but it looks like there's so much going on the package, and I just wish I got a little more of that. And maybe that's something where adding some sweetener and playing with that a little bit might bring those flavors out, but just off the bat, that's kind of what I'm tasting. And then for, like, festiveness, to me, this doesn't really have a lot of festive flavors. I was hoping between the mint with cinnamon, something would win out and kind of remind me of a good Christmas tea, but it honestly doesn't. Like, it's a good tea. It's a really good tea. And especially if you like a good herbally green tea, again, this is a really good one, kind of like that last green tea. But for me, it just doesn't do it as far as festive. But overall experience, I think I'm still gonna give it a 3. Again, kind of like the last one. It's a good solid tea. I enjoy it. It's just, for me, not what I was looking for, hoping for this holiday tea kind of experience. Our next tea is gonna be gingerbread treat. And so the ingredients for this tea are black tea, cinnamon, ginger, apple, cardamom, and natural flavorings. So I imagine this is going to be a lot more of your kind of cozy, like, cinnamon and apple smell and flavor. I'm excited. Let's go try this one out. Yum, okay. Okay, sorry. I'm taking little sips because these are so hot. I really like this one. It has a lot of great spice to it that to me makes it taste very, very gingerbready. Like, it's got that kind of classic little bit of ginger, but also kind of the warm, like, nutmegs and cloves and things like that. And then the apple, I think, adds a little bit of sweetness. Yum. Okay, so thoughts. For flavor, I'm gonna give it a 4. Maybe like a 4.5 or 5. I really like this one. I think it's a good classic flavor, and it's got a really strong flavor to it, but not in a way that like punches you in the face. I think it would lend really well to some sweetener and being like more in a latte kind of form with some milk. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think it's got a really good, solid flavor combination that really comes through, even without sweetener. So I'm gonna give it a 4. And then for festiveness, I think I might give it a 5, actually, because this is kind of exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to a holiday tea. I want something that's gonna put me in the mood, make me feel like it's winter time, especially coming up to Christmas, something that'll make me really excited for Christmas, and this definitely does that. Like, it gives you that kind of gingerbready flavor that you associate with the holidays. So I'm gonna give it a 5 for festiveness, and then overall experience, I want to give it a 5, but I'm afraid. I think I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. I really like this one a lot. It's just got a great overall feeling. It's a black tea, so it's a lot easier to make than a lot of teas. I know black teas have a lot more kind of wiggle room as far as you don't have to be as careful about like what temperature you steep it at or how long you steep it. It's a lot more forgiving. So I'm gonna give this one a 5. I like this one a lot. Okay, so the next tea we're trying out is called Festive Spice. And this one is another black tea with cinnamon, orange, ginger, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and pepper. Okay, so this one seems like it's really trying to be just your traditional like warm winter spice tea, whereas that last one was trying to really focus on like kind of a ginger cookie flavor. I think this one is a little bit more like just all of the winter spices. That's really nice. I don't know if this is intentional, but along with all the different spices, I can't remember if I listed it, but it tastes a little like vanilla to me. Wow, that's really good. I'm getting a lot of like, I think it's like the cardamom or the cloves in this, but this is so good. This would be a really, really good tea latte, especially hot. I could see it being good cold too, but I think it'd be really, really good as a hot tea latte. Okay, so rankings. I'm gonna give this one, really? Yeah, I think I am. So I'm gonna give this one actually a 5 for taste. I love how this tastes. I think it has a lot of complex notes that are easy to kind of distinguish and appreciate. It's got a nice bold flavor, which I was really hoping to have in something that's like literally has spice in the name. So it's got a really bold flavor. I really like it. I think it's really easy to drink, and so I'm gonna give it a 5 for flavor. I'm also gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 5 for festiveness, because this tastes like what I want a holiday tea to taste like. Like, it's got those warm winter spices, kind of like the mulling spices. And it's again one of those that'll go really well in like a warm tea latte. So I really love that. I'm gonna give it a 5 for festiveness because I think it lends so well to the season. And then overall experience, do I want to give it a 15? Sure, I'll give it a 15. Yeah, this is a 15. This is a perfect 15. Because this is super easy to make. Again, I really like a black tea because it is a lot more forgiving as far as brewing. And then I think that in general, like, it's just a great tea. I think it's the kind of tea that you could sip on it and have it start hot and then kind of let it. I'm a big sipper, so a lot of my teas tend to get cold, and this is one that I think I could enjoy all throughout the process of it going from a warm tea to a cooler one. So I'm gonna give this one a perfect 15. This is really good. Okay, the last tea we're gonna be trying from this gift set is called Happy Holiday. And this one is a green tea with natural flavorings again. What are natural flavorings? I wanna know. Cinnamon, pomegranate, ginger, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and pepper. So it seems like a lot of these teas, if they're trying to have a little bit of that like warm Christmassy vibe to them, that they're going for cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, those kind of spices. But this one has pomegranate in it. so I'm intrigued. We are on to our last tea, and this tea requires a little bit of explanation on my part. So this is Tazo's Joy Tea. So if anyone's ever had that Tivana Joy Tea that Starbucks used to have, I'll try and put a picture right here if I actually end up being able to find one. But a couple years ago, Starbucks had this tea that was made by Tivana, and it was called Joy, and it had a really nice wintry kind of fruit flavor. It was one of my favorite teas ever. I used to get it every single day when I was in college. We had a Starbucks on campus, and so in the winter when it would come out, I would get it all the time. I think it was, I didn't know what kind of tea it was at the time. I don't know if it was black or green or what. But then about a year ago, I think it was, it vanished. They stopped making it, and it made me really, really sad because I loved that tea. That's nice. Wow, ooh, that's nice. I like this green tea a lot. I think this is probably my favorite green tea of the bunch. Yeah, that pomegranate in there works really, really well with the green tea. I can get a little bit of those nutmeg and cloves and those kind of warm spices, and they don't really take over the flavor. They just kind of, I don't know how else to say it, but they Christmas-y-ify. They make it more Christmassy. They make it more Christmassy. They make it kind of like a warmer flavor. That's really nice. It's really delicate, but it's really nice. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna give this one a 4. No, I'm gonna give it a 5. No, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 on the flavor. I like it a lot. I could have a little bit more. Part of me wants a little bit more pomegranate and a little bit more spice, because they're very subtle flavors. They're nice, but part of me wants a little bit more of them. But it works really, really well as a flavor, and I enjoy it a lot. I think I'm also gonna give it a 4 on the festiveness. It's a really nice kind of unusual, not unusual, I guess, but unique Christmassy flavor. It definitely tastes like winter. It's got those mulling spices in there. So it's definitely a winter taste, but I think to me, it tastes a little bit less like a holiday taste and tastes a little bit more like just a generic winter taste. But it is still really good, and I still enjoy it for a holiday drink. And then overall experience, I think I'm gonna give it a 5 because I really enjoy it. I think it would go well in a lot of ways, and I think it's a really good green tea. I think it's my favorite green tea that I've tried, so I'm gonna give the overall experience a 5. Okay, we are on to our last tea, and this tea requires a little bit of explanation on my part. So this is Tazo's Joy Tea. So if anyone's ever had that Tivana Joy Tea that Starbucks used to have, I'll try and put a picture right here if I actually end up being able to find one. But a couple years ago, Starbucks had this tea that was made by Tivana, and it was called Joy, and it had a really nice wintry kind of fruit flavor. It was one of my favorite teas ever. I used to get it every single day when I was in college. We had a Starbucks on campus, and so in the winter when it would come out, I would get it all the time. I think it was, I didn't know what kind of tea it was at the time. I don't know if it was black or green or what. But then about a year ago, I think it was, it vanished. They stopped making it, and it made me really, really sad because I loved that tea. I tried to see if I could find it online, if Tivana was still selling it independently, and could not find it anywhere. And then I was looking for teas to use for this video, and I saw that online Tazo had their own Joy tea, and I was doing a little bit of research to see is this the same one, and it looks like it's pretty similar. I think the original one supposedly had notes of apricot in it, and this one has peach in it, but it's the same blend of black, oolong, and green teas. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be a good dupe for that Teavana Joy tea that I loved so much a couple years ago. So I'll be trying it with a little bit of that in mind. If it's not the same tea, that's fine. I'll be fine. I'm sure it's gonna be a good tea regardless, but I'm personally really hoping it's a dupe of that tea that I loved so much and can no longer get. I've gotta be honest. If this one tastes like that Teavana Joy tea, it might win, just by default. Just because I love that tea so much, and it made me so sad when it was gone, and it had such a unique kind of wintry flavor because it wasn't just your typical, like, you know, cinnamon, spices, that kind of thing. It had a little bit of that stone fruity taste to it, and it was so good. So, if this is a good dupe for that one, it might just kind of have to win by default. But also, I put a little bit of sweetener in it, just because I'm trying to see if it is close to that tea I used to get. So I'm trying to do everything to it that I used to do to that Teavana Joy tea. So I put just a little bit of sugar in it, but we're gonna taste it. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's probably slightly different just because I think I know, like I think I saw that it has slightly different fruits that it uses. But from my memory, this tastes exactly like that Teavana Joy tea that I loved and cherished so dearly. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is all fives. It's super good. It's festive. I love the experience. Wow. Okay, if anyone has been missing the Joy Teavana tea and they were really sad that Starbucks took it away and that Teavana stopped making it and that Teavana kind of stopped being what Teavana was, if anyone's been missing that Joy tea, this is an amazing dupe. It was $3 from Target when I got it, so go stock up. I'm gonna go stock up because this is amazing and I never want to lose it ever, ever, ever again. Wow. Okay, that's so good. I'm just gonna keep sipping this tea for the rest of the video. Oh my gosh. Okay, that about does it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. This was such a fun video for me because I adore tea so much, so this was so fun to do. It was so fun to try. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm doing a giveaway with these teas. So if you saw a tea that sounded really good to you, if you saw a flavor combination that you're like, oh, I want that, I want to try that out, go ahead and comment below, and I'm going to be picking the first 3 comments I see and shipping a bag of that tea to you. Now, if for some reason I run out of the kind of tea that you want, I'll message you or get in contact with you and figure out like what tea you want instead. But you can comment below or you can comment on my Instagram. I'm bria.bakes on Instagram, so you can go ahead and comment on those posts. But I will be selecting some people to try some tea alongside of me because I had so much fun making this and I want to share some of my tea findings with y'all. But that does it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow in day 3 of Bakemas.